I know what you're thinking, you perv. You're too ugly to live, gambling in traffic.
We're going to get you when the lights are out.
I'll get the bloody police onto you!
The drying of your tears. Today we escape. We escape.
Get the bloody police onto you!
You're sad and ugly, Steve.
5:29. Next, on your teachers grumbling about you.
You don't deserve to live. Do us all a favour and top yourself.
Psychosis is without doubt the most debilitating of the mental health problems. The young man we've just seen is very typical. Psychosis affects young people in their late teens or early 20s. Many of the long-term disabilities that we see develop aggressively during this early phase. Many of these young people are ill for a year or longer before they receive treatment. This delay in treatment often leads to poorer outcomes for people like Steve. We now know that a very high percentage of these young people will visit their GP during the development of their psychosis, yet many of the symptoms are difficult to spot. Let's see how Steve might present in the surgery.
So Steve, what can I do for you?
I don't feel well. I'm having problems sleeping. Lots of bad dreams. Is there anything that you can give me to help me sleep?
Well, how long have you been having these problems sleeping?
It's been like this for a while now.
Any aches or pains that might be stopping you from sleeping?
What sort of things do you mean?
Well, I was hoping you might be able to tell me that. You mentioned bad dreams.
Yeah, lots of dreams.
Is there anything else that's changed recently?
Just things in general.
Any changes in your life? I mean, have you started college yet?
Started college. I didn't like the course. I take up kickboxing, Tai Chi, learn how to defend myself, maybe do some DJing.
So, how are you spending your days at the moment?
I'm reading Lord of the Rings.
Steve, like many young people going through these problems, is unlikely to reveal the true extent of his mental distress without the GP asking further probing questions.
Are you having any difficulty concentrating when you're reading?
Concentrating? I don't think so.
Okay, have you found yourself being more suspicious of people at the moment?
Why do you ask?
Helen, what made you think this young man may be developing a psychosis?
Well, we know that in the early stages, the lead up to a psychotic illness usually involves several key symptoms.
There are several key warning symptoms that may indicate psychological vulnerability. These include withdrawal from family and friends, irritability, losing concentration, depression and anxiety, feeling uneasy, constant tiredness, suspiciousness or losing trust in people, and delusional or bewildered mood. A decrease in levels of self-care or personal hygiene, abstract or vague speech, or unusual outbursts of anger or irritation may also be suggestive of psychotic risk.
Steve certainly seemed to be feeling a bit uneasy, a bit low, down, withdrawing. There was also something about his appearance and behaviour that made me think that something might not be quite right.
Well, I think it's important in the early phase of psychosis to understand that often people can hold it together in an interview. And it's often a combination of vague but key changes in thinking and a clinical hunch that something is not quite right. The important thing, I think, is if there is a suspicion of psychosis, to look carefully over the preceding year or two to see if there had been any changes in functioning. Young males in the early stages of psychosis may find it difficult to discuss emotional issues, often presenting to their GP with vague physical complaints. The next scene shows one such example.